because we see here the double height. We're at the very top, and the double height, I've put in the border around the edge, but not in the middle, so this is going to be the double height space at the top level. What am I saying now? I guess we're just looking at the double height space and thinking about the possibilities. Oh, this is looking down at the tripod bridge, and I guess I'm complaining about not being able to see anything because of the fog in the distance. And I was saying things like, well, what am I looking at? Well, I'm probably talking about the columns going up to the height limit, and how the vertical columns are going to frame the space, so it's not going to be like that when I actually finish. I don't like post-commentary, because I really can't remember what I was saying. It really is more interesting just to say it when you think about it. Where am I going now? So we're gonna have a look at that. See, having the vertical there probably makes it easier to visualize what the space is gonna be like. Especially since the vertical bit actually tells us how tall it's gonna be, like there. Again, I'm just walking around and doing a lot of stuff, and it's not entirely sure what I'm looking at. Alright, I'm still talking about stuff. I must have had really interesting things to say, and yeah, I'm just really sorry about this, guys. Well, there's the sun. I don't know if I talked a bit about doing something with the sky, because we are at the top, so something with the sun and the moon and the stars, maybe. But that's my idea. Like, I don't want to put my ideas into your heads at this stage, especially if you want to think about what you want to do as well. Then it'd be better if you come up with your ideas without hearing mine first. Then maybe we can get more diverse ideas between us, right? And that's the height of the space, of the floors in between. Again, I'm just pointing out the lack of vertical elements. And maybe I really should just put them in and then show you guys. What else am I saying? Clouds. Yeah, well, I don't know. There's a lot of clouds here. I mean, personally, I think the cloud level might be the most interesting, just because it changes. Like when the clouds come in, it looks a certain way, and then when the clouds pass, it looks different. So here we're looking at the clouds. We're standing in the clouds, looking at the cloud level, and then the clouds pass, and it's different. So I think this actually has the most potential for doing something interesting, just because it changes all the time. Whereas all of the other levels are pretty much the same any time of the day. I guess except for the top level, because then at the sky level you have the sun and the moon going past. So that might be interesting, but at the cloud level I think that's the most interesting bit, potentially. Like you can be in the clouds and out of the clouds and all that. I wasn't saying that when I was recording this, I know that much. I was saying something else and I don't remember what it was. Anyway, I don't know if I have enough cobblestone at this point. I think I do. I think I'm going back to grab some stone. And I'm gonna build the column. Well, here's the ground level again. just to see how tall this is. Why am I coming over here? Yeah, so this is the corner. Why is this interesting? Okay. Okay, so now we're up here. Well, that's... Oh, I have smooth stone. Oh, so I'm gonna do this right now, I see. Well, I'm gonna pillar my way up to the top. Ah, I remember now, okay. We're gonna put a pillar up at this corner. And we have enough stone to go all the way to the top, I think. And we're just gonna do this once. And then I'll do most of the rest off screen. I think I'll do all the rest off screen actually. And this is not too interesting, I mean it's just me putting blocks down. What am I looking at? Oh, Enderman, I remember now. Yeah, so I installed a mod that makes the Enderman not move blocks around anymore. I think I was talking about that at this point. Probably I was talking about that earlier as well. Because I was... Yeah, like... I'm really sick of Enderman, to be honest. Just because... Like even... Oh, I had a huge long explanation as well. Anyway, I'll try to summarize it now. But basically, Enderman always destroys. That's all they do. I mean, when they were first introduced, they basically just destroyed the landscape at a phenomenal speed. And eventually they got nerfed. But they essentially still do the same thing, it's just a lot slower. And I really don't think that Endermen moving blocks by themselves when you're not even aware of them, when you don't even know they're there, I don't think that's a good idea. I really don't. And so I've added a mod that makes them not move blocks around anymore. And here, I'm just looking out here and just saying, look, even though they only move dirt and grass and sand and gravel, if you just look out at the landscape like this, Endermen can basically destroy all of that. They can just mess up everything you can see there until you get down to the rock. And they always do it because what will happen is they'll pick up a block and then they'll despawn or they'll teleport away and they never put the block down most of the time. So in effect, they're slowly removing dirt and sand and gravel from the world. And if you run the game for long enough, you just end up with this destroyed kind of thing. Which I don't think is a good idea, really. So yeah, that's the first mod, aside from Optifine, I guess, that I've installed. And that's to nerf the Endermen, so they don't pick up any blocks anymore. And I did that because, you know, I went exploring a bit and then I came back and I saw that some of the dirt blocks were missing from the column, from the bottom of the columns there, down at the bottom. And that's just, I don't know, it's just, I've never liked them. I've never liked the Endermen, so I just really disagree with them. Now what else am I saying now? I don't remember, but there's another thing we can do is that we can edit the biomes now. Like now that the biomes are saved in the save file, and MCEdit has introduced the ability to change the biomes. I hadn't decided back then, but now I think I will change the biomes in the old alpha map, or to like grasslands or maybe forest, just something with no snow and no swamp, just because that's how it was originally. And I think all the ice and all the swamp is just in the weirdest of places, and it doesn't really fit. I mean, the biomes are kind of interesting, but it's just, I don't think it fits well in the old map, and so I think I'll change that back. And when I want to deal with biomes, I'll just have to move out of the old area at some point. Anyway, that wasn't what I was talking about back when I was doing this. And I don't actually remember what I was doing when I was doing this. So we're almost at the top, that's good. I don't really have anything else to say. The rain is actually quite loud. Huh. Anyway, you can see how much stone this is using now. I think I've run out of stone actually. Do I? Look up, look up, look up, look up. Look, yeah, I think I actually run out of stone before I get to the top. Because it uses... Yeah, I do. It takes up a whole stack of stone to get up one level. And I only have one stack left and there's like 2 levels to go. Yeah, I run out of stone before I finish one column. So that's how much stone this actually takes up. And I use the cobblestone generator towards the end to grab enough cobblestone because I don't want to go back to the branch mine to get more. I just want to get it done by the end. So yeah, you can see the... And... Oops. Oops. Yeah, no more stone. That's right, Simon, no more stone. And so I guess I'm gonna go back and grab more stone from the branch mine. So this is the... yeah, this... Wait, is this the first or second time I ran out of stone? No, I'm sure I still have cobblestone. So I ran out once, went down to the branch mine and got some more. And now I'm in the second batch of stone, so to speak. What am I looking at? I think I'm talking about the fog in the distance again. And how it's unfortunate that you can't really see the landscape. Like you come all the way up here and the view is not very good because you can't see very far. It's not very good. It's unfortunate really, and I mean I'd be really happy if the guys at Mojang could figure out how to render more of the landscape without sacrificing performance too much. I actually think it's probably too difficult. I mean, on the one hand, there are other games that can render, distant landscape, but what they do is they pre-calculate a lower resolution model of the distant landscape and use that in place. And they can do that because all of it is pre-calculated. Whereas in Minecraft, nothing is pre-calculated because everything can change at any point in time, and so I think it will be quite a bit more difficult. What am I doing now? I'm looking at that, like the sand there's collapsed in the ocean because of Endermen, probably. Disturbing the sand and then collapsing the cave under themselves. And then when they hit the water, they teleport out and then everything else. So that will probably happen a lot less now. Random caves, random sand falling into caves that you don't know about. Yeah, damn Endermen. Hate them. It's just break the rules, they cheat. I mean, you have a game where you've established an established pattern where if you build a wall you can keep the enemies out, and if you put on torches you can stop them from spawning. So you can, there are things you can do to control the enemies, and then the Endermen just come along and they break all the rules. Like I don't even know why that's a good idea. Anyway, here I think I'm showing how I've been processing the materials. So I make a bit of charcoal, and then what am I doing? I need more torches, that's for sure. There we go, more torches. And then I grab a whole bunch of cobblestone. In fact, full inventory of cobblestone. Click, click, click. and then I go through all the furnaces and swap the cobblestone for the stone. So that's basically how I go about processing the materials. And you can see I need more charcoal in these furnaces. So I don't actually have to wait for the stone to go through the furnace at all, because I just do it all at once. And then I just take the stone and go build, and then by the time I come back they're all finished. So that's, it doesn't actually waste any time at all processing the cobblestone into stone. I've had this setup for a long time now, ever since, in fact I had a similar setup all the way back when I was building the crystal tower. I think I had like 4 or 5 furnaces going at once. So yeah, I established this sort of setup from very early on. Obviously I've got a lot more furnaces now. What am I doing? Alright, so we're gonna grab more wood to make more charcoal. I use up a lot of wood as well doing this, just cause I'm doing all of this in bulk and everything. Yeah, so that's basically it. I mean, it's not too interesting. The actual work of it, moving stone around, moving charcoal around. I don't really know how people manage to watch Minecraft Let's Plays. I guess if their personality is interesting, then, or they have a lot of jokes and stories to tell, maybe that's okay, but the game itself isn't that interesting to watch, in my opinion. Maybe you guys think differently. I mean, this is kind of interesting, I guess. But I'm only showing you a little bit, right? You see how I built most of it off screen. I don't record most of the construction work. What am I talking about now? Maybe something about how tall this thing is? How big it is?